When a quiet orphan walked onto the America's Got Talent stage with nothing but a borrowed jacket and a trembling voice, nobody expected history to be made. He didn't come from fame, money, or connections. He came from loss, silence, and survival. And when he began singing Hotel California, the entire room realized this was not just a performance, it was a life story being sung out loud. If you believe real talent comes from real pain, make sure you subscribe now, because stories like this only happen once in a lifetime. Daniel Reyes had learned very early in life how to disappear. Not physically, but emotionally. He learned how to sit quietly, how not to ask for too much, how to avoid getting attached. By the age of 9, Daniel had already lost both of his parents in a car accident that no child should ever have to remember. One night there was laughter at the dinner table, and the next morning there were police officers, hospital hallways, and strangers explaining words like, gone, and, forever. From that moment on, Daniel's life became a series of temporary places that never truly felt like home. The foster system moved him from house to house, sometimes for months, sometimes for just weeks. Every move meant new rules, new faces, and the same unspoken reminder that nothing lasted. Daniel stopped unpacking his bags completely because he knew he would be leaving soon anyway. What stayed with him through all of this was music. Music became the one thing that didn't leave. It didn't judge him. It didn't promise things it couldn't keep. It simply stayed. One night, in a small foster home in Arizona, Daniel couldn't sleep. The house was quiet, except for an old radio playing softly in the kitchen. As he lay there staring at the ceiling, a song came on that felt different from anything he had heard before. It was Hotel California. He didn't fully understand the lyrics, but he felt them deeply. The feeling of being trapped, of searching for escape, of wanting freedom but not knowing where to find it. That song felt like it was written for him. From that night forward, Daniel began singing quietly whenever he was alone. He sang in empty rooms, in bathrooms where the echo made his voice sound bigger, and sometimes outside at night when no one could hear him. Singing became the only place where he allowed himself to feel everything he kept buried. The sadness, the anger, the hope. All of it came out through his voice. At school, Daniel was invisible. He wasn't a troublemaker, and he wasn't popular. Teachers described him as polite but distant. The only time they saw him come alive was during music class. When Daniel sang, something changed. His posture straightened. His eyes focused. It was as if he finally existed. One music teacher noticed this and encouraged him to sing more, even suggesting talent shows and competitions. Daniel always said no. The idea of being seen scared him more than being alone. Everything changed when Daniel turned 15 and learned that his current foster home was closing. That meant another move, another restart. That night, he sat alone in his room holding the same radio that had followed him through 3 different homes. Hotel California played again, and for the first time, Daniel sang the song out loud without holding back. His foster mother heard him and stood frozen in the hallway, listening. She told him later that it felt like hearing someone tell their life story without speaking a single word. It was that foster mother who helped him fill out the application for America's Got Talent. Daniel laughed at the idea at first. Shows like that were for confident people, for kids with parents cheering backstage. But something inside him whispered that this might be the one chance he would ever get to be heard. He applied without expecting anything. When the audition invitation arrived, Daniel cried for the first time in years. The audition day was overwhelming. Backstage, Daniel watched families hugging, parents fixing hair, friends recording videos. He stood alone in the corner holding his number tag. No one noticed him, and he didn't mind. He closed his eyes and imagined his parents standing somewhere in the crowd. He told himself that even if no one else listened, he would sing for them. When Daniel walked onto the stage, the judges saw a nervous teenage boy with tired eyes. Simon Cowell asked him why he was there. Daniel answered honestly. He said he didn't have much in life, but he had his voice. He said music saved him. The audience grew quiet. When he announced he would sing Hotel California, there was surprise in the room. It was a legendary song, not an easy choice. Simon looked skeptical but curious. The music started, and Daniel took a deep breath. From the first note, something shifted. His voice wasn't loud, but it was honest. Every word carried weight. He wasn't performing. He was remembering. As he sang, images of his life played across his face. The foster homes. The empty rooms. The nights he felt trapped inside a life he didn't choose. The audience felt it too. Halfway through the song, Daniel's voice cracked. For a moment, it seemed like he might stop. Tears filled his eyes, and the room held its breath. Then he continued, stronger than before. That moment changed everything. It wasn't perfection that moved people. It was courage. When the song ended, there was silence. Then one person stood. Then another. Within seconds, the entire theater was on its feet. Judges wiped tears from their eyes. Simon Cowell leaned forward, clearly shaken. He said he had heard that song many times before, but never like this. Heidi said Daniel made her forget she was judging a competition. How he stood up and walked toward the golden buzzer. As the buzzer was pressed, golden confetti filled the air. Daniel collapsed to his knees, overwhelmed. He covered his face and cried openly, not caring who saw him. For the first time in his life, he wasn't invisible. He wasn't an orphan. He was a star. That night didn't erase Daniel's past, but it changed his future. He gained a family of supporters, millions of viewers who saw themselves in his story. His performance went viral, not because of a sob story, but because it was real. Because it reminded people that talent doesn't always come from comfort. Sometimes it comes from survival. Today, Daniel continues to sing, but more importantly, he continues to heal. He proves that even when life traps you in pain, there is always a way out. Sometimes, that way out is a song.